Hello everybody, welcome to my review of the Sony Vaio F11X. This is the UK model, ordered CTO and arrived just about a week ago. Been getting to grips with this model. There seems to be quite a few questions about it on the net and people comparing this to the Dell Studio XPS 16, myself one of them, before I purchased this laptop. I'm hoping this review might help some of you along with your decision. So we're going to go through and take a look at some of the features of this laptop and my impressions of it. I'm going to try to be as impartial as I can. Bear in mind, my first choice had initially been the Dell Studio XPS 16. I opted against it because of all the initial problems it was having, which are apparently now been fixed. So I'm still within the return window. I can still return this, but I'm opting to keep it, and you'll find out why in just a few moments. Start with the exterior. Just going to unplug this for now. The laptop itself, when you look at it, and I got my latitude there. Alright, so the laptop itself is very professional looking, very elegant looking. It does not have the flash that you might see on the XPS 16. It's got a matte finish, so it's much less prone to fingerprints, although they are still visible. You can't probably see this in the light, but just when I picked it up here, you do get some smudges, but it's much less visible than you'd probably see on the glossy finish of the XPS 16. It does feel high quality. It feels very sturdy, and it has a very elegant look to it, if I hadn't said that already. It's got more of a professional feel. If you pick it up, thickness, and comparing this to my old Asus G1S, it's about the same thickness, but it feels a lot sleeker because the body is, or the chassis is curved inwards. So if I put this back down, and you go here, the body actually curves inwards and it looks a lot thinner than it actually is. Let's take a glance around the sides here. At the back there's nothing. There's no ports or any connections at the back of the machine itself. So put it down, come around the side here. You have the grill here, the heat exhaust. You've got your LAN port, VGA out, HDMI out, an eSATA/USB combo, which means you can use a power over eSATA cable as well here, and an express card slot. Not quite sure what this S400 thing is here, and maybe one of my viewers will be more enlightened as to that, but I'm not using it, so it's not a big concern. At the front, I have a couple of indicator lights. I have the battery indicator light and the hard drive indicator light. You also have the wireless on-off switch, a slot for your Pro Stick if you use a Sony camera, and a nice separate slot for your SD card. So I was very happy about that. If it only had the memory stick, I would not have purchased this laptop because I'm against that proprietary technology. And there we go. Over on the right-hand side, we have the headphone out, which also doubles as an optical out. I'm sorry if my focus is not the best on this camera. We have the headphone in. The headphone in. And we have two USB slots, one of which I plug my mouse into. And then over here I have the Blu-ray drive. The power light is on. This is the on-off switch. It stays illuminated even at night. I haven't found a way to switch that off yet. That is a minor annoyance to me right now because I do sleep with my laptop on by the bed. And if I could switch that off, that would actually have been a big help. Apart from that, that's the exterior design over here. One other minor annoyance is the fact that it only has 3 USB ports. I would have preferred more, especially as this is a multimedia laptop. I do usually have my mouse plugged in all the time, a hard drive plugged in, and my phone. That takes up all 3 slots already. Okay, I'm going to plug this back in. And speaking of which, the power brick is over here. If you'd like to compare the 130 watt power brick with the one from the Dell, and let's just unplug this for a second. This is the power brick from the Dell Latitude, also 130 watts, and you can see that the Sony is marginally smaller than that brick. There had been some reports from users that this light over here would inconsistently blink depending on the usage of the machine. I have not experienced that on my UK version at all. Alright, I'm going to plug this back in. Take a look. Now looking here, you can see that the screen is quite thick. I am not sure if this is an LED or other type of screen. I can't tell, but we'll cover the screen a little bit more later. Okay, let's take a look at the main body now. It's the keyboard. So this is the premium black finish. This finish is only available at the moment, I believe, in the EU and Asian markets. It is not available in the US. So if you are purchasing a US F11, the black color is actually very different from this one. The main difference between the premium black and the black is the palm rest over here. This palm rest is rubberized, whereas the regular versions, the black and the gray, apparently are plastic. I have not seen them, but that's what the reports seem to suggest. This rubber feels great. It's got a nice little Vaio logo there. The multi-touch pad, and it is multi-touch, but it's not very sensitive, which we'll see later. It has a texture there, but it's actually smooth. Right, 2 buttons. Going through, got all your little stickers. I like the contrast between the rubberized palm rest. It's a darker black. It's actually very dark black compared to a more grayish base. Whoops, beneath the island style keyboard. And this is an island style keyboard. Which we'll just go over here. I love the individual number pad. It's the first time I've had a laptop with a number pad. It's making itself very useful when using Excel. Now, the UK or the EU models do not feature backlit keyboards, which the US models do. Or could, if you order them CTO, or certain pre-configured models. It's an option in the US. In the EU, it's not even selectable. So, I don't have a backlit keyboard. At the top, you have some buttons here. You have your Vaio Assist button, which opens up the Vaio. Oh, sorry, that's the Vaio Assist button. I don't have the software installed to get the Assist functionality working. You can map these to different things if you do a clean install. I have the S one, which opens up the Vaio control panel. I press that. Vaio includes some little control panel shortcut utility, which we might see later. It's not very important at the moment. And that's it. A useful little button that I found is the display off. If you just press this, it switches off the display completely. Press it again, it brings it back on. This is useful when I connect it to a projector, which I have in my living room down there. So I don't have to actually close the lid and activate sleep functions, which I haven't disabled yet. I can just press display off, and when I'm ready to bring it back on to do a quick little search on the net or something, I can just press it. When I'm ready to continue watching the movie, press it again. It's more useful than you might think. You don't have to keep switching Windows settings between displays. You have your play, stop, next track, previous track. I've never used these buttons on any laptop that I've had, even though they've all had these shortcuts. I don't usually listen to CDs on my laptop. And this laptop is not the best to listen to music on, which we'll cover later. And now you have the speaker grill. Okay. Again, if you look at it from far, it is a relatively thin looking laptop. And well, looking at it from my video here, it doesn't look like it's thin, but if you do see it, it does look a lot thinner than it might seem here. Okay. Well, let's just take an overview around it before we move on to the screen. Okay,